Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope everyone's had a good Wednesday. Let's get into the show. So, plenty I want to get talking on tonight, including some massive news in relation to Sir Jim Radcliffe and his overall control of Manchester United. Seems to be growing by the day. Also going to talk on some big stories. Pellistri very close to joining Granada. We were talking about this a couple of nights ago. It does look like that is about to happen as well. And we want to get talking about Karim Benzema. No, it is not 2009. It is 2024. This is 15 years after we probably could have bought Karim Benzema, but there is talk growing online about a potential 6-month loan deal, something to keep an eye out on for sure. But I am asking you guys on tonight's poll as well, what's your thoughts on Benzema? Would you take him on a 6-month loan deal if that was something we could do or pull off? Let me know your thoughts down below on that there one. So I guess we'll start off with Karim Benzema. Let's start off with something kind of exciting. So a couple of different stories going around tonight. Some are saying we're in for Benzema, some are saying we're not in for Benzema, some are saying that we're going to be bringing a striker in of some kind or shape or variety, and some are saying we're bringing absolutely nobody in as well. So I guess we'll have a look at who's saying that Benzema might be coming in as well. So this is coming in, I believe it's from Jose Felix Diaz. He seems to be a Madrid-based reporter for RMC, and he basically said that United had made contact with the entourage of Karim Benzema. Now, we've seen this from other sources, and this is a story that isn't going away. Now, look, it looks to be Karim Benzema is not happy in Saudi Arabia. It looks to be that there's issues between him and I think it's Al Ittihad he's at. So there looks to be issues there. There does look to be guaranteed issues there with those, with that club, with that player. Will this be something we see brought in to United? I'm not sure. Would it be the kind of signing we need? Maybe. Maybe we need goals. Maybe we need something like that. Is Karim Benzema the answer at 36 years old and £500,000 a week when we're trying to slim down the wage bill? Who knows? I got lots of people in the comments as well. Who've I got Jarl down there, can't see Benzema coming to United. All the news is that he will change club in Saudi Arabia since the league will not let him go. Stephanie is saying liked and loved the earlier video on the waging war on the wages. Your votes depends on what happens to the big earners in January as well. Thank you very much as well for that, Stephanie. And yeah, guys, there was a video dropped earlier. Just a quick side note on that. If you guys could go check it out after this, that would be much appreciated. It ended up getting a really big push, which is good, but the really big push came on some pro wrestling videos, which isn't exactly what my video is about. So needless to say, not a lot of people clicked on it, and now YouTube's probably just going to put it to on the algorithm as just one of those videos that isn't worth sharing. So that's an unfortunate one, but we will make more videos. We can't win them all. But yeah, look at Karim Benzema. Look, this is the kind of player that we would love to see. Guarantees goals, really experienced player. As Daz says, Hoyland could learn a lot from a player like that. Other players at the club could learn a lot from someone like Karim Benzema, but is that the kind of move that Manchester United are going to make under Radcliffe? I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. Rosat is down there as well. Benzema more likely to join Madrid. Do we sign Ignacio and Tapsoba? We need another left-footed centre back, so we can play Ignacio, Varane, and Leitze. I mean, we could do. We could look at another left-footed centre back. I think we will be, and I'm pretty confident it's going to be Jared Brantwaite. I think that's my most realistic prediction ahead of that there one, is that Jared Brantwaite will be the guy who we bring in on potentially in the summer. But look, I want to get talking on a lot of things tonight, and I guess one of the big stories of today is that the Glazer family have really took a step off the Manchester United gravy chain. They really have took they've took the idea of a silent partnership between them and Radcliffe to a whole new level, and they have said that Radcliffe is now going to have a lot of responsibility with the commercial side of the club. This came out from a really interesting article by Adam Crafton earlier. I would recommend anyone go out and read that as well. But basically, they've come to the realization, Radcliffe and the Glazer family, that there's going to be too much of an intersection. There's going to be too much of a merging between commercial and footballing interests, and perhaps it's just best for Sir Jim Radcliffe to take full control over that. So Adam Crafton had said Manchester United staff had been informed that Sir Jim Radcliffe's and INEOS will encompass more than just the footballing operations, as initially outlined during the 25% agreement in the Premier League club. So it is likely Radcliffe's going to have some more says, some more power, and that's a good thing. Radcliffe's team will be liaising with the Glazers on all business decisions, as they by definition will impact both the footballing operations and the commercial operations of the club. And this will mean that the two ownership groups will need to align more with one another on key issues relating to the business, as dividing up affairs entirely now is felt to be unrealistic. So I think that's an interesting one. Definitely one to keep an eye out on. It's more power for Jim Radcliffe. It's more power for INEOS. Yes, he will have to work within and work with the Glazers on that commercial stuff, but it does answer some of the questions I've had for a long time, such as what happens with the stadium? Is that a commercial investment? Is that a football investment? What happens with the training facilities? Is that a footballing investment? Is that a commercial investment? What happens with other aspects of this club and how we operate on and off the pitch? Where does football end? Where does commercial begin? And vice versa. So big changes have come there as well. Big ups to those 15 likes as well. I got Luke Chapman in the comments as well. Big ups to Northampton as well. Big ups, of course. Let me see, I've got other comments I wanted to go through earlier. I might have missed a few as well. Rajat says Benzema top 3 of the generation. Yeah, he is. Stephanie says 14 plus 14 equals 21. I think that's in terms of the votes on the poll. Yep, we've got plenty of votes on tonight's poll as well. We're up to 16 likes as well, so thanks very much for all that there. Much appreciated, guys. Rajat says Benzema is a creator like Harry Kane. Yeah, look, he creates, he scores goals. You don't need me to tell you that Karim Benzema is still a top-level footballer, and that at Real Madrid during his last seasons, he was probably the best number 9 in the world. That's why he won the Ballon d'Or. And yeah, I mean, look, you don't need me to tell you that. There's nothing I can tell you about Karim Benzema that you do not already know. But I guess in terms of that poll, I guess in terms of what we were talking about as well with Steph, and just because we highlighted Karim Benzema, we're going to have a look at it. And what are you guys saying there? Would you take Benzema on loan? 57% are saying yes, 26% are saying depends on the wages, and only 17 are saying no initially to Karim Benzema. Luman's in the chat as well. Good to see you. Has Radcliffe taken over now or yet? I don't want anyone to trigger you. Don't worry, Luman. So it looks to be that there's another week or two of this process in terms of actually getting the fit and proper ownership test done, getting that done first and foremost. So that will take another little while, unfortunately. It's not what we wanted to see. It's where we find ourselves, though. But yeah, look, it's done. The video, I mean, it's gonna be done, and it's gonna be taken care of. There's nothing to be concerned about, and it is now an INEOS club. The Glazer family have relinquished further control. Radcliffe is now going to have a keen opinion and input and decision making on the commercial side of the club as well, which is massive. And I think that's really interesting. And again, it kind of shows that the Glazer family are just kind of in that position now where they're like, Joe, what? Let's just have Jim do it. Jim will run it. Jim can do this. Big T is down there. Good to see you, Big T. Thanks for hopping on in as well. Jim is certainly meaning business, and he's going all guns blazing. If all Hoyland does what's Benzema training, it will be worth it. Jim is basically running the club with a quarter ownership. He's a genius. I mean, yeah, look, it's hard to disagree with that. It really is. I mean, Sir Jim knows what he's doing. He's clearly had a plan the entire time, and obviously so far that plan is working, and it's working very, very well. And big changes are still to come. I mean, look, he still hasn't got officially sworn in, so to speak. He still hasn't had that there done, but he's definitely making progress, and he's definitely getting a much bigger slice of the pie than his initial investment probably would be worth. So definitely an interesting one to keep an eye out on. Lots and lots of interest and intrigue are going to be surrounding this club in the next couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I think Omar Barada is just the beginning of the Radcliffe era. It's just the beginning of what he's going to bring to the table during his ownership, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Look, is this the exact ownership we wanted? No, it's not. We wanted full ownership. We wanted Glazers gone. We wanted debt gone. But so far, so good. I think that's what I would call it, and I'm feeling positive about that as well. The man says he's Big T is sugarcoating him as well. Jacques goes, Joel has the keys to a Ferrari, but he can't drive it. It does look like that as well. Like, it looks like the Glazer family have the keys to one of the biggest sporting franchises in the world, and they don't know how to use it, and they don't know how to build it, and they don't know what to do with it. So definitely, it's it's probably to Radcliffe's advantage. It's probably to his benefit, but I mean, it is what it is, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next, guys. I really am. Look, I'm going to post this into the chat as well, if you guys can check that video out afterwards, just because it's kind of struggling at the minute, because for some reason YouTube thought it was about, firstly, WWE, and secondly, also about gardening. So, needless to say, the for the amount of impressions, the amount of people they showed it through, the actual click through is very, very, very low on it. And if you guys could check it out after, that would be much appreciated. What are we at with it? 1% out of 8,000 people who have seen that have clicked on it. What a result. Liman says we should not overhype Sir Jim. No, I'm not overhyping. I think he's making a very good start. I think he's putting the right steps in place. And if Qatar made the same moves if they had bought the club, I would say the exact same thing about that as well. That they're making the right moves. They're bringing the right people in. And that's going to be good for them. And that's going to be good for us. So that's my opinion. What have I got in these comments as well was something. Big T says the choice is Benny or Choupo-Moting. Give me Benny every day of the week. I mean, yeah. I think if Choupo-Moting gets the move to Manchester United, he genuinely has the best agent in world football. How this guy's gone from being a flop at Stoke City to playing for PSG, playing for Bayern Munich, and potentially Manchester United would be quite something. It really, really would be. Have some interesting stories to bring you anyway regarding Facundo Pellistri. So we're very, very close to getting it. Here we go on that there one for him to join Granada on loan until the end of the season. Will there be a buy option? There could be. There's been a lot of players gone out on loan in recent weeks in the month of January. Young players who've gone out with buy options in their loan deal. Hannibal, Alvaro Fernandez, could Pellistri be next? Let's just wait and find out on that one. Lemon goes, what right moves? Bringing this Moting guy is a move by Radcliffe? No, I don't think bringing Choupo-Moting is a move by Radcliffe. I think bringing Omar Badara is probably one of the better moves we've made in a really long time. That's putting someone with real sporting pedigree, real football pedigree, a real background, and being one of the key men of Manchester City, probably one of the best run sporting organisations in the world at the minute. Bringing him in to be CEO and head up your project is a very, very good start. Bringing Dan Ashworth in is a very good start when you get that deal done. Bringing Mitchell in will be a really big start. Having Jean-Claude Blanc already on the board of directors is a really good start. So he's definitely making the right moves. He's making some moves that are going to make a big difference, I feel. It's just going to be giving it time, and it's going to be an interesting couple of months. Rosaco's PSG are not a big club. Depends who you ask. If you ask a French football fan, they'd probably say yeah. But I mean, PSG's an interesting one. There wasn't too much of a club really there before the buy-in, the buy-over. But yeah, I mean, look, listen, PSG's an interesting case study for sure. Anyway, any more thoughts, guys? Make sure hop them into the comments. 23 votes on the poll as well. 53% say that they would take Benzema on loan. I think that's going to be a pretty resounding yes, to be honest with you guys. Anyway, it's just one of them. I think it comes down to affordability. I think it comes down to what we can do and what the Saudi Pro League are willing to do in that case. Will they let him go out and join Manchester United? Will that be something that can be done? Can that be organised? Can it be worked out? I'm not too sure. Can he get out of his contract there? You know, these are all questions I guess Karim Benzema is going to have to ask. These are all questions United will have to ask if we actually want the guy. But until we see concrete movement, until we see like deal agreed or anything like that, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to keep myself very much in the position of I'm not too sure if this deal is going to happen at this moment in time. But look, there is some other stuff we want to go through on tonight's show. I think one of the big stories of today is Anthony Martial. Of course, this has been a long time coming. I think we've all suspected this for a really, really long time, and now it's kind of getting here. He's out for another 10 weeks. You're not going to see Anthony Martial kick a ball again for Manchester United. He apparently has been told that he will not be offered a new contract by the club as well. So I guess that kind of just makes everything official. Martial will be leaving the club. It's a shame because he should have been something else. He should have been something special at this club, and ultimately Monaco agrees to a Ballon d'Or clause for a reason, but it's done. He's done at this club. A story I think is going to get quite a few groans and negative reactions as well as coming in from Sky Sports is Manchester United are keen to tie down Scott McTominay to a long-term contract. McTominay's current deal expires in summer 2025 and the club have an option to extend that by a further 12 months. So I'm sure you guys are very excited about the prospect of Scott McTominay being at this club for a long time. Yet I'm positive everybody in the comments are going to be absolutely all for that and will absolutely love the thought of Scott McTominay being here long term. Rashad says Martial was great when he was young. I rated him. I didn't think he was going to be Henri though. Yeah, look, I think there was the comparisons. I think he could have been something special in the game, but ultimately it never happened for one reason or another. It's not a problem with talent. He has all the ability in the world. It's always been the injuries, it's always been staying fit, and ultimately he was never ever really fit for a prolonged period of time. Always had injury concerns no matter how good or how badly he played, and I guess that's been his undoing, unfortunately for him. And it's kind of hard to see where he goes next. Like, he could end up in the Saudi Pro League, he could end up in the MLS. It's not somewhere you want to see a player who won the European Golden Boy end up at age 27 or 20th. That's not ideal. That's not what you want to see. But I think it's the right call for United. I think looking at it from a business point of view, we would take the opinion that this is a player on £200,000 per week who is not ever fit, never available, will probably make £4 or £5 million being injured until the rest of the season, and then we'll probably leave and go get a signing bonus elsewhere. Le Mans says Martial is a curse, winning for the day. His contract expires and leaves. We'll celebrate by getting fully drunk. That I promise. We'll hold you to that one, Le Mans. Don't worry. Well, I think you might see a few people happy Martial's gone. I think you see a lot of people happy. And I think maybe we'll have a little party here in the channel whenever the Glazer family officially go. I guess I'll do that. But yeah, look, got a comment from Steph as well. McTominay will be our first ever player manager. I mean, look, it's genuinely getting to that point. It really, really is. I don't know. I think we got to sell him. We got to sell McTominay. Surely we got to sell him. The plan was to sell him last year. The plan was to move him on at some point. We tried it with West Ham. Now they've signed Calvin Phillips. That's probably not going to happen either. So we're running out of potential buyers for McTominay. So we got questions and we need to have some answers for pretty soon as well. Laurie Whitwell has put a tweet out right now as well, saying many in United's footballing departments have been left buzzing by Sir Dave Brailsford's introduction. He and Sir Jim Radcliffe had emphasised on elite performance, and that struck a chord with the people who had not heard that type of talk expressed by club hierarchy before. Internally, Patrick Stewart, the interim CEO, has been saying to Manchester United staff that there will be a change in direction for the club, and they are looking at a football first. What's the exact words there? Football first disposition. That's what we're going for. So I guess that means basically, as we sort of assumed, everything's going to be football first. It's not going to be about the commercials. It's not going to be about taking money out. It's going to be about putting the interest of the team very, very quickly. Sir Dave Brailsford's next task at United will be the hiring of a sporting director and a head of recruitment to work under Omar Barada as well, according to Laurie Whitwell. So that's kind of what we expected. I guess we were always going to see the CEO brought in. I think it's interesting that we've moved Jean-Claude Blanc to the board of directors when he previously could have been the CEO. It does look like INEOS have took the view that they want him involved at an even higher level in the club, which I guess is a good thing. Now we've got Barada in as well. And I guess when we're looking at sporting directors, technical directors, and heads of recruitment, you're probably looking at people like Dan Ashworth, you're probably looking at Paul Mitchell, you're probably looking at Marco Neppe, people like that, or who we're after in that sense as well. Guys, drop a like on the video as well if you can. We're up to 16 likes. Can we get up to 20? Would be much appreciated. Where that goes, we are 100% going to pop bottles of champagne. Would take Ronaldo as a manager, but maybe not McTominay. Big T says, give McTominay a 5-year contract. His professionalism and hunger is what we need. He leaves everything on the pitch. Every manager loves him. I would get rid of Bruno before McTominay. Le Mans goes, yes, the Glazers like money, but they were let down by the people running the club. Yes, it was their fault for not being closer to the club, but the people they employed betrayed them as well. Look, yeah, I've said this before myself. I have pointed this out. As bad as the Glazer family are, they were not taking the active day-to-day running of Manchester United. They were not the boots on the ground. They were very much the overseers and orchestrators of this, but there are other people equally as guilty, equally in need of replacement, and who need to go every bit as much as Joel Avram and the rest of them. You know, Richard Arnold would definitely be one, John Murdo would be another, Woodward, whole host of other ones inside the club definitely need a massive clear out internally, and I guess that's what INEOS are doing at the minute. That's probably what Brailsford's doing on the day-to-day at the minute. Rostat says, which what player would you take as a manager? We'll take Varane, Ronaldo, and Casemiro. What is that there to be? I guess that's it. Is that to be a manager? I think probably Casemiro out of those lots. And the reason is that there does seem to be a kind of a correlation between managers who've managed to play in the kind of middle of the pitch and have a really good understanding, and they tend to go on to do better things. Especially people who play in those deeper line midfield positions. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure that's the only reason, but there does seem to be a correlation. You're looking, Pep Guardiola did that. You're looking, Zidane obviously played in the middle of the pitch as well. Michael Carrick's another one. Xabi Alonso, or other people as well. It's an interesting thing. Maybe you don't see a lot of goalkeepers, or maybe you don't see a lot of centre forwards really excel in management in the same way. It's interesting. It is interesting. But yeah, Stephanie says Mo is Martial. But yeah, look, I think that's an interesting subject to look into, and I'm sure someone has done some proper, genuine research into it. I think when you look at it, all things considered, you're kind of in an era of football now where players get paid so much that they don't need to go into coaching. They don't need to stick around the clubs and work as ambassadors. If they're going to do it, it's because they wanted it. And you would assume that that's going to create a more a more interesting hypothetical scenario there as well. That's what I think. I think that's what it kind of creates as well, is because you have the likes of, I don't know, like Wayne Rooney, for instance. It's not really worked out for him in management so far. He might just go pack it up. He's got more than enough money to ever do him anyway. Probably the same for Frank Lampard. But then you see people like Michael Carrick. Then you see people out there as well making a break into the football and coaching, like Xabi Alonso, who have probably earned plenty of money and are probably multi-millionaires and are doing it for the love of the game and because they genuinely want to. I think that's interesting. Rajat goes, Keane. No, I think Roy Keane's problem was he was just too demanding of the players that he had at his disposal. I think he's kind of put that out there as well. You know, he was expecting more from a Sunderland team, I guess. But look, to go back to topic, I guess if we want to get talking, got some more stuff about INEOS here as well, coming in from Norrie Whitwell. He had said, on the pitch, there is no sense INEOS are writing off the season. Radcliffe and his team want Champions League qualification because of the prestige, but it could also significantly help with financial fair play. The tightness around the numbers is why there's so little movement on signings at the moment. Steph is down there as well. 60% of the vote wanted Karim. We acted too slow in the summer would have made more sense. It probably would have, Steph. I know that we wanted an experienced striker in summer as well. When we think about it, we wanted a young striker, an experienced striker. Could Karim Benzema have been that option in another lifetime? Could that have been an option we went for? I'm not too sure. I think it's an interesting one to think about. I mean, we missed out on a lot of good players last summer, both in terms of bad signings, both in terms of slow negotiations. We could have had Kim Min-jae. We could have had maybe Karim Benzema. I think for some of the obvious ones we're missing as well. You know, you're looking at Marcus Thuram going to Inter Milan on a free transfer and doing really well there as well. Jaco Xavi of Barcelona was doing okay. Look at Gerard, he's shite. Yeah, I mean, that is true as well. Rui van Nistelrooy in. Got Bodie on YouTube down there. How do you, Bodie? Hope all is good, man. Hope it is good to see you as well. Knocked over my phone there as well. Luman goes, Ten Hag out, Rooney in. I don't know. I don't think Wayne Rooney's the guy to replace him. But look, I mean, to be fair to Rooney, he did a good job at Derby County considering the circumstances, point deductions. And then you're also looking at a team made up of free agents and youth academy players. I mean, they did well, all things considered, to be competitive in that championship. season. I'm not too sure. Look, there's a lot of nonsense stories going about at the minute, and I'm going to tell you one of them right now, guys, and that is Sir Jim Radcliffe plotting a £100 million sale of Manchester United's Mason Greenwood to Barcelona. Barcelona are having to sell more TV rights because they can't keep their head above the water. They're persisting with the European Super League project because they can't keep their head above the water. I would not trust them whatsoever to pay £10 for Mason Greenwood, let alone £100 million. So I think we can leave that story. I think you might see Greenwood go. I wouldn't be surprised. And would he fetch a good transfer fee? He probably would too. I'm sure clubs will have looked at his spell at Getafe and realised Getafe have took a lot of the heat off that situation, and he could be a prime player to bring in the summer at a decent price if United wanted to do business. So that's one to keep an eye out on. But make no mistake about it, Barcelona's not paying £100 million. They haven't got that much money in the first place. But I would expect a lot of player sales. I did a video on that today as well. So if you guys want to check that out after this, make sure to do so as well. Would really appreciate some support on that there video. I'm not sure it's doing the best, but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. That's just how it goes. In terms of that poll, 64% said they would take Karim Benzema on loan. Big T says if Benzema comes in and does it in the Premier League, puts himself alongside Ronaldo and Messi at the top table, he might do. I think, yeah. I mean, you're looking at maybe like a legacy move there. Maybe that's something you could say. I think if he was gonna do it, I think he would have took the offer, or he would have went in the summer. I think that was more probable. I think that was more likely. Now, look, you might see someone like Chelsea go in for him. And by all accounts, it does look like Chelsea are floating around. And Chelsea have an interest in Karim Benzema. Will they bring him in? It could be a very tall body signing to make. I mean, we know FFP doesn't count at Stamford Bridge. Maybe it is something they would do. I guess it's going to be an interesting one to find out and just to keep an eye out on as well as this story progresses. But I would expect us to bring someone in. I think enough people are saying that we're interested or trying to bring someone in. It might not be Karim Benzema. It might be Wout Weghorst. It might be Choupo-Moting. Who knows who it's going to be. But I don't think it's going to be a long-term option no matter what way we dress it up, no matter what way we look at it. I just don't think it's going to be a long-term signing for Manchester United. And I think it's going to be one of those just 6-month loan deals, Odion Igalo type, where you just bring someone in, they might score a goal or two, they're there to fill up the shirts, they're there to take up some squad space, and that might be it. I think it's an interesting one to think about. I think if Martial's going to be out for the season, you're looking at a lot, asking a lot of Højlund to stay fit and stay on form until the end of the season, based on what we've seen already this year from him. He does seem to be able to pick up the odd knock. Rajat goes, could Beckham be a manager someday, or would he like to own his own club? I mean, look, he already owns Inter Miami, and he owns a stake in Salford City. I'm positive if he was going to get into coaching, he probably would have done so already. I don't think that's going to be something you're going to see is David Beckham in a dugout anytime soon, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened for Manchester United players in the past, and I guess it's one to keep an eye out on, but I would be surprised. It could be the ultimate nepotism hire if David Beckham sacked the Inter Miami manager and just said, do you know what? I'm going to do it myself. I think that could be that would be an interesting one. I don't even think Todd Bowley's that bad, to be honest with you. But yeah, look, definitely you'll see a lot of players go into management. You might see some of the players in this current team go into management. I think they've got to grow more of a backbone if they do. I think they've also got to realise that a manager will have to repeat instructions until it's 100% got right. There is some interesting there is some interesting news coming out. I would like to bring this up as well. That looks to be Muppeteers. So the Muppeteers run another podcast called Stretford Trends. If you guys do want to check that out, I will, of course, give everybody their dues. If I'm going to say something I've noticed, but the Muppeteers told Stretford Trends that United are admiring Girona manager Miguel and are keeping an eye on him in the future. So that could be a potential option there. I think Girona's done really well in La Liga this year as well. Buddy is down there with an experienced striker. Rajat wants to see someone brought in to help Højlund as well. Big T says the loan deal can be a trial, get 10 goals instead of Ben so we can have a year-long contract. I'm not too sure if that will be the plan. I don't think we're going to bring him in. personally, that is my preference. That's what I would go for. Rajat goes, no more Johnny Evans type signings. Look, Johnny Evans hasn't been bad for what we've got for him. But yeah, look, this Miguel guy has done really well at Girona this year. Now, Girona's an interesting one. They're currently top of La Liga. They've come from pretty much out of nowhere, but they're part of the City Football Group. I can't see us bringing him in at all in that sense. And I think maybe we want him, maybe we would be interested, but I just can't see us in that point of view being able to get him out of City Football Group if they have a vested interest in him. Although we have just got Omar Barada from City, so maybe it is something we can do. Who knows? Something to keep an eye out on for sure. But stylistically, I mean, there is a lot of similarities between what Girona have been doing, what Ten Hag's Ajax were doing as well. So is that kind of the alternative you look to bring in? Is that something you look to do perhaps? I'm not too sure. I guess that's something to keep an eye out on, something definitely to be interested in, and it is something we could see happen. So definitely it's coming from a good source in the Muppeteers, so I guess it's something to keep an eye out on. I know a lot of people out there have been looking at some of the other potential new managerial candidates. One of them, very highly favoured at the minute, is actually Thomas Tuchel, and would like to know what you guys think about the prospect of Tommy Tuchel being Manchester United manager. Obviously, he's at Bayern Munich. Doesn't seem to be going 100% to plan there. Behind the scenes, there does seem to be issues. Obviously, he was very hard done by Chelsea, and Chelsea let him go, and their troubles really began. But let me know your thoughts on that one. Big T says, could Barada tempt Haaland to the Reds? Who knows? Maybe he could, maybe he couldn't. I'm personally, I think Haaland's going to be there for a while, and then I think he's going to go elsewhere, probably to somewhere like Real Madrid. And he does seem to have that kind of interest in him anyway, that he wants to experience different leagues, kind of be a bit of a journeyman in that sense. And if that's what he wants to do with his career, then yeah, fair play. Absolutely fair play for that there one. Let me just double check something here. Yeah, it's better. There we go. Stephanie's done there as well. Wish we had Norman Whiteside type player. I mean, yeah, like I think we just need some more quality. Like I genuinely think at times we lack quality across the pitch. Rajat goes, we can't match a wage offer that the Saudis give to Benzema. No, absolutely. United got Barada, the biggest signing we've made, says Rajat as well. I think you're looking at a really good long-term signing there, and that's going to be such an important part of the puzzle moving forward, and changing the footballing operations at our club is really going to be important. Big ups to those 22 likes as well. Much appreciated, guys. If I could just direct you as well to today's video. Stephanie was talking about it earlier. Really good. Quick video anyway. I put some video chapters in it so you guys can get the opinion on each of those players. But basically looking at top 10 earners, and I came to the sickening realization that 7 of them probably aren't good enough and should be moved on, and maybe even you could look at the other 3 and ask questions as well. So I think that's a concern for sure. Rajat goes, that's why so many players going to Saudi when they went for the money. Yeah, look, they did. There's no ifs, no buts, no maybes about it. They went for the money and that was it. Like, but it hasn't gone to plan for a lot of them. Some players seem to enjoy it. Some players really don't seem to enjoy it and seem to hate it out there. It's definitely a mixed bag. It's really is a mixed bag out there at this moment in time. And I think it takes a certain type of player to make it work out there. I think Ronaldo is that player. He has made it work the most. Because I think he's always going to train hard and just work hard regardless of where he went. So I don't think being in the Saudi Pro League really mattered there. Big T says, instead our current Norman was some and Rajat goes, how many players? Yeah, send out that one from Rajat. But yeah, look, I would agree with that as well. You couldn't make an argument Norman Whiteside gets into this team anyway, as it is. Perhaps. I'm not too sure though. Big ups and 22 likes as well. 35 votes on the poll as well. Thanks very much for that there one, guys. 63% said yes, they would take Benzema on loan. 23% said depending on wages. So that's what 86% of people would say that they would take Benzema in some way, shape or form at Manchester United at the moment. That's an interesting one. Maybe it is something we could see happen. I'm not discounting anything. I think it's unlikely. But stranger things have happened, and stranger things have happened with Manchester United in recent years as well. Thanks very much, and 23 likes now as well, guys. That's really, really, really good support as well. Really do appreciate it, guys. Obviously, hopefully, gonna be much more content coming out this week. Might record something tomorrow, and should be live again tomorrow night as well. So that should be 3 lives in a row. Another video maybe tomorrow or Friday, then the watch along stuff on Sunday. Looking forward to that. I don't know what it is about Manchester United. No matter how bad we are, no matter how much we annoy, infuriate, enrage, we always end up missing them when they're not here for a week or two. And the thought of these breaks is always better than what the breaks are. Maybe it's the same. And maybe I'll be saying the same thing on Sunday, that the thought of United being back is better than United actually being back. But I'm not too sure anyway. Let me just quickly double check a couple of things here. Was looking to see. There was something there that I did see. I think I was talking last night about Andre Brooks from Sheffield United, and that's potentially a player we're looking at as well in the upcoming windows, but I'm not too sure that was what I was looking for there. Yeah, here we have it here. Manchester United exodus in the summer. 4 more players set to be sold by the club, and this coming in from, looks to be just from United District on Twitter. But that said, Radcliffe is looking to sell 4 more additional players. Mason Greenwood is one. I think that's where that story's initially coming. McTominay is a replaceable asset apparently. Alvaro Fernandez, Hannibal Mabry could also be sold permanently by Manchester United in the summer. So these are all things to watch out for. Man Utd is saying, is this live or Premier? And yes, definitely watch along on Sunday. Yes, we will be back for that there one. Don't worry, there will be a watch along from Newport County. What could go wrong against Newport? I don't know. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully it's going to be a convincing win, and very, very simple for Manchester United to get the result done there. And again, look, I'm going to say it, it's the exact same as when we played Wigan Athletic. The win has to be a given. You cannot not win this match. It's going to be how you win this match. It's going to be about scoring 3 or 4 goals. It's going to be about getting some goals. That's what it's going to be about. Not going to be about it's not going to be about scraping a win. Have to go out there, score a good few goals past Newport County. No ifs, no buts, no maybes, no excuses. We have to do it regardless of who plays. Regardless, if it's Charlie McNeil up top with Amad Diallo on one side and Garnacho on the other, and a midfield 3 of Kobe Manu, Ericsson and Mount, you got to go out there and smash Newport County. Regardless, you have to do it. Number one, you got to be keeping the clean sheet. It will be Altay Bayandere as well starting that match. For all you Andre Onana fans out there, don't worry, Bayandere will be playing. Man Utd says, "Let me handle this." Granada United says, "Let me handle this, Man Utd." Okay, and Dark Crow is there as well. If you know, you know. I think I know. I think I know. Where's Le Man at? Yeah, we're up to 25 likes as well. But yes, guys, 26 likes. Those wins, it should be a win on Sunday regardless. We should be going into the 5th round of the FA Cup. No problems whatsoever. Be an interesting match tonight between Fulham and Liverpool. Not too sure if anyone's going to watch that. There is also a free match as well on at the minute on Sky Sports on YouTube, and that is Bayern Munich, I think, playing Union Berlin. So that's one to be watching out for as well. Newcastle are looking 25 million for Kieran Trippier. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at that there one. And Jamal Lascelles being linked to a move to Saudi Arabia. I can't say I'm surprised with this. Look, I've been saying this for a while, guys. Every time Newcastle would be in financial difficulty, a nice little Saudi bid will come in out of nowhere. The man says, "What did I miss?" It's alright, man. Not too much, guys. Big ups as well. On 28 likes. 28 likes is genuinely incredible because there's 28 likes from 128 views. Like, so really could not ask for anything more from the support from you guys. If you could check out today's video, that would really help, because YouTube, as I said earlier, decided that video should be pushed towards people who watch pro wrestling and gardening videos, which has really killed any sort of momentum that video has. Got a lot of impressions, but 1% of people clicked on it. because people who watch gardening videos about how to get rid of weeds from driveways and how to prune properly don't really care what Jim Radcliffe's doing with the top 10 biggest earners at Manchester United. But that's a YouTube problem. That's not a us problem. We'll keep on going. But if you guys could check it out, that would be appreciated. And I've got 150 views on it anyway, so some of the gardening folks must be slightly interested in Sir Jim's big plans. Let me double check. What have we got here? 28 likes is incredible as well, guys. Can we get up to 30? And the man goes, "Is it true Karim Benzema earns like 3.3 million a week?" I think it might be. I think that might be monthly. The man. I will find out. I'll find out right now, if you man. Don't worry. Let me find out. Benzema 30. I mean, some of these salaries are genuinely insane. Let's see. Karim Benzema is paid 100 million euros per season. So whatever that works out in terms of matches played, I'm not too sure. Let me see. He's paid, there we go, $4.12 million per week. So whatever that is in pounds, you're probably looking at that as well. So he's getting a lot of money. He's going to get another 30 million for being an ambassador for the Saudi World Cup bid. So Karim Benzema, if anybody needs to borrow a tenner, if anyone needs anything, give him a shout. Bourne is down there. I don't understand the stats that show Penandes creates a lot of chances, but it's the same thing that the strikers received a few scoring chances. That's also true. Both can be true. They're not mutually exclusive. It's kind of odd, but it would suggest that Bruno's chance creation is going to the players least likely to score goals, which is probably more of a structural, tactical issue and something Erik Ten Hag has to finish. And he has to fix that, or the next manager has to fix that if Ten Hag cannot fix it. Stephanie says getting rid of dead wood, not weeds. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But YouTube thinks that it's all about the pruning. It's all about the weeds. It's all about how to get rid of poison ivy. That's what Sir Jim Radcliffe and United Top Earner videos should be going to. But it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. It is the joys of being at the mercy of an algorithm. Anyway, but yeah, look, 28 likes on there as well, guys. Can we get up to 30? I mean, if we can get 30 up, would be incredible as well. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to drop a like on this video. Check out today's upload as well. Will hopefully be another one up. Would you guys like me to get a couple of shorts up tomorrow and record a longer video for Friday? Would that sound like a good plan? Would that be something that we could do? I think I could do that, no problem. Yeah, let me just quickly double check this. That's all good. That's all good. I don't know why YouTube just keeps telling me that I'm having video and connection issues, but I mean, it's running all right. I've got it right in front of me. I can say that. So I'm not too sure what the problem is in that respect, but it is what it is. Let me just quickly double check one or two more things as well, just before we wrap tonight's stream up. But yeah, I'll tell you what, that is a plan. I will upload a couple of shorts tomorrow, and we'll maybe get some, maybe get a longer video recorded and upload it on Friday. That will be the plan for that there one. Nordi Michele is set to go to Bayern Munich from PSG. That's an interesting one. Tunisia have sacked their manager. What is this here? Sir Alex Ferguson has left a message for Javier Hernandez, who's gone back to his hometown as well. Can't see a transcript of it. I've got subtitles, but yeah, that's definitely something to check out. 29 likes as well, guys. Let's see if we can get one more and get to 30. That would be really, really appreciated on that one. Stephanie wants to see some shorts as well. I'll post some short videos tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll come up with a couple overnight, maybe even record them after this one as well. Got a story coming in here from Pete Hall saying United have been offering players to Saudi Arabia in recent weeks. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro, Jadon Sancho, Anthony were all on the list of possible options, although no clubs are officially preparing any offers yet. An interesting one left off there is Rafa Varane, and I think Varane's going to be an interesting one because I don't think his contract's been extended. I think there's only 6 months left in his deal, so he could be gone, and he could end up leaving the club for free. Would be a big one. Would be a big wage off the books anyway, but it's going to be an interesting one to see what we do there. Talksport are saying United not expected to make any major signings this month despite Martial's injury. I mean, we probably have accounted for him being injured anyway. Let me see, anything else that we can touch on? Fabrizio Romano has also said Granada are very, very close to a loan deal for Facundo Pellistri. The agreement is getting very close and talks are moving quickly. More contacts today to get it done between all the parties. Hasn't mentioned anything in relation to a potential buy option like we have seen for Hannibal or Alvaro Fernandez, among others. Will Pellistri be listed? I'm not too sure. Do Granada have the money that we would want in the first place? I'm not too sure. And I think it's an interesting one to see what happens there in regards to the wage being paid, because obviously we took Alvaro Fernandez off Granada and sent him to Benfica with the option to buy. So does that then mean that we might see United paying more of Pellistri's wages to send him to Granada as kind of a sorry for taking a player off your hands there? But obviously Granada weren't playing him too much in the first place either. Bourne says, realistically, what can the new regime fix in the first full season of the club? I think they can fix a lot of stuff. I think we need sometimes it is forgotten within mainstream media the size of this football club, what this football club can do, what this club can be, and the things that it's capable of. The wealth, the history, the culture, and the size of this club genuinely don't get talked about enough. We have people saying that Man City are the biggest club in Manchester. United are easily the biggest club in the Premier League, and if run properly, if turned towards the right kind of thing, and if tiered towards success and football first, who knows what can be achievable within 12 months. I think it's a long-term project, yes, but I think we can make a lot of progress in the next 12 months. I really do, and I firmly believe that, and I think that's going to be something interesting to keep an eye out on as well. 30 likes as well, 31 now, so thanks very much for all those likes, guys. Much appreciated. Steph is asking, will I take Modric if available, or is he too old? Good question about Luka Modric. I think he's still so good, but I think it's going to come down to money and stuff. I think realistically, I think we've got to start looking at younger players. That could be my message, and that could be my plan if I was Jim Radcliffe. I would look at players 21, 22, 23 who are going to come in ready to make an impact, ready to make their mark in the game, have cut their teeth with some professional performances and with some decent amount of appearances behind their back, but they're ready to take that next step, and Manchester United needs to be that place to take that step. I said it on the United Agenda a couple of weeks ago. I've always got the feeling with a lot of players, and especially in hindsight, it's a very valuable thing, but you look at it and you have people walking into this club, players being bought by this club. They seem to think, number one, that they're either doing us a favour by being here towards the end of their career, or number two, coming to this club and saying, I've made it, this is the pinnacle, this should only be the next step in the journey. And it was said, even by Roy Keane went through Rio Ferdinand when he first joined, saying, you haven't done anything here, you haven't won anything yet, you're nobody until you lift trophies at this football club. So I think those are kind of the mindset alterations we need to see. I think a younger team gets us towards that, a young, hungry team who want to go out and do some bits. Obviously, don't go the Chelsea way, buying a load of teenagers for a lot of money. We don't want to do that either. We want to make sure we're bringing in players at the right price, the right age, the right profiles to fit the right system. And look, if we need some more experienced players to help guide and nurture that talent, then let's get them too. But I do think a younger core, a fitter core, and a more athletic core is what we will be going for in this transfer window. And I think it's going to be an interesting one to cover. I'm looking forward to covering it all on the channel like we did last year. Probably going to be daily lives across the summer, so I'm looking forward to that one as well. Plenty of videos coming up. I might get to work on some of the scouting work as well, and getting some of that done, because there is little tidbits of information going out there about players we're looking at, players we might want, players who could be available for United. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on that stuff and kind of having a look at some of the in-depth stuff as well. So plenty of those videos will be coming up in the coming weeks, because I think a lot of people we're going for might not be household names yet, but they might be household names in a season or two if they come to United, if they tear it up, and if we start winning trophies again. That's what I honestly believe. But in terms of that there, Karim Benzema, I've been asking you guys all night on the poll about this player. 47 votes, 66% said yes, they would take Benzema, 19% would say it depends on wages, and 15% said they would not take him at Manchester United Football Club. So that's an interesting one there. 85% of people would take him in some way, shape, or form, depending on wages and stuff. That's an interesting one. It's something to keep an eye out on, I guess, but I don't know if I can see it happening at this point of view. Sorry, at this point in time. Look, I guess the stories really come in from Jose Felix Diaz, who writes for RMC and Marca in Madrid. So United, Arsenal, Real Madrid, and Lyon are all in talks. Karim Benzema's entourage. A definitive meeting between Benzema and Al Ittihad will be held today to decide his future. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know where the plan is going to be there, but I mean, Benzema will come. He will probably get a few goals for us. He'll probably be able to teach the players around him some things if they wanted to learn, if they were ready to learn. But I'm not too sure. Luckhurst is saying we're continuing to monitor the transfer market should an opportunity arise. Again, look, this is just more of these journalists. Some of them, there's genuine journalists out there who are top quality and get some of the best information out there. And then you have people like Manchester Evening News, like The Sun, who will just say they're monitoring, they're interested in, because it means they can just sell a paper, get a couple of clicks, and if it doesn't happen, they said, oh, well, they're only interested, they're only having a look at it, and kind of covers their back as well. So that's something to definitely be keeping an eye out on. Look, guys, I think we're going to leave the stream here, but I will get some shorts up tomorrow. There will be a video recorded tomorrow for Friday and a live tomorrow night as well, and I'm looking forward to all that there with you guys. Steph is saying, I'll go this comment first anyway. Deadline day drama for United, unlikely, but would welcome the right player. I think, yeah, if it's the right player, the right sort of price, or the right kind of loan, the right kind of wages, yeah, I'd understand it. One to keep an eye out on. It's one to be interested in. And I guess we're just going to wait and find out. Maybe we'll know more by tomorrow. There will be a live tomorrow on the channel as well. Make sure to join in for that there one. Big ups on 31 likes as well. Guys, check out the video as well that did drop today if you can after this. Would really appreciate that as well. Let me see if I can quickly find the link. I think I put it in there earlier on in the stream. Let me just quickly do this. Yeah, I'll do that there. If you guys could check out the video and drop a like on it, I would really appreciate that. Or even drop a comment or anything on it. Would be massive if you could. Have I got it? Yeah, there we go. There we go, guys. That's into the comments there. If you guys can click on it, have a watch, have a like, have a comment. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch everyone tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. See you all tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.